We are often asked, how many words do you need to know to speak English confidently? Or, how many words do you have to learn to reach a certain level of language competence? These questions are as stupid and naive as, for example, how much money do you need to be happy? Or how many books do you have to read to become a well-educated person? With each level of language learning, we find out how rich in meaning those seemingly simplest lexemes are. First, a face, as the front part of the head from the chin to the forehead and hair. Then two-face as a verb meaning to be in a position in which you must deal with a problem or unpleasant situation. An easy verb of movement, to run, turns into the phrasal verb to run out of, to use all your supplies, to have no more.
Beware, teachers may run out of patience when you want to be taught how to speak fluently, being not aware that very few people have a desire to communicate with you because you have no idea of what to say or how to behave.
To enrich and diversify your speech, you don't have to memorize words in lists. We meet words in the same way as we get to know people in life, and we remember them or we forget them. This happens in a certain life situation, a context, and the richer our life, our language experience is, the more valuable our vocabulary or social circle becomes. So we should treat each word as an individual, that's all. Each word, like a person, has its own origin, etymology, history of appearances in different situations, contexts, and interaction with other people, words. That is, each word has its own unique genesis, DNA, background, and as a result connotations, additional notes of meaning and style, which are steadily connected with the main meaning in the minds of native speakers. Just as there are no two identical people, there are no two words that can be called absolute synonyms. How do the words little and small differ, for example? In Russian, there are many suffixes of emotional judgment. The same words can have a positive or negative touch. Then we'll say a little. Small is a neutral word. It only indicates the size. In serious activator type dictionaries, which I highly recommend you to use, especially if you want to write a high-quality essay, for example, you may come across these words.
Fancy, trick,
dream,
fantasy, mirage, deception,
error,
fallacy,
phantasm,
daydream,
hallucination,
semblance,
mistake,
chimera,
misconception,
figment, misapprehension,
misbelief,
or a pipe dream. Let's say you learned for some reason such a long list of synonyms. What for? The activator will explain the difference between these words and provide you with good usage examples. Some of the words will remain in your passive vocabulary and you'll be able to recollect, recognize them, and you may fall in love with some others and you'll actively use them in your own speech. How actively will that be depends on how much you communicate, read, write, listen and watch. That is, on your life and language experience. The list that's just been given is clearly lacking two words. Sometimes it happens like this. Two languages borrow the same word but at different times. The word illusion comes from the Latin illusio, mockery, irony, deception, but in English there is also the word delusion, which is absent in the Russian language. Usage examples.
Her idea that her new man is a long-lost prince is surely just a delusion. Ha! She's just envious of me.
Though illusion and delusion can be thought of as synonyms, they actually have different meaning. While illusion pertains to unreal vision, delusion can be said to be a false belief. Illusion can be termed as a misleading perception. You'll be seeing something, but the fact is that you see it in a different perspective. Illusion means misjudging the length, direction, and shape of objects that are seen. Illusion is something related to the vision that you see but misinterpret. Delusion, on the other hand, is a false belief that is maintained even if it is contradicted. Illusion is something that is caused by outside influence, but delusion is caused by your feelings. Illusion happens when you are fooled by your own vision, but delusion happens when you become a fool of yourself because of your beliefs. While illusion can be termed as external, delusion can be called as internal. While illusion is a physical phenomenon, delusion pertains to the mental aspect. But delusion doesn't need to persist in the face of contradictory evidence. If we believe our lover to be faithful when he or she is not, then that is a delusion regardless of what evidence is present or absent.
Но притворитесь, этот взгляд все может выразить так чудно. Ах, обмануть меня нетрудно, я сам обманываться рад. Ас Пушкин.
Delusion also comes from a Latin word, from the word deludere, that means to play falsely, and thus in English, its meaning is different from the original. The Russian language borrowed only one of these words, and all the meanings were sort of mixed up in it. Perhaps it is a feature of the Russian mentality to take wishful thinking and treat magicians and illusionists as sages and leaders. What do you think?